Well, hello there, everybody, and welcome to Chatting with Charles. Have my buddy here, William De Silva, as our special guest.
Good
How's
morning,
it going,
everybody.
William?
What's that?
How's it going this morning?
Going good. It's going good. A little bit early out here on the West Coast, but I'm up and chipper and ready to go. Let's do this.
All right. Yes, let's go ahead and let me welcome in the folks that are in the chat so far. And of course, we've got Herb of Fireside Studios. Welcome in, Herb, followed by our music in law, Ryan Hall, and Blackjack Guitar, Dennis Ellis, who has just finished making some chili, and so I hope he's saving some for us.
Yeah, my wife makes homemade chili fairly regularly. I love it.
Yeah, you cannot go wrong. That is food for the soul.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have Martin of L&M Guitar Corner. We have Paul McNary and All the Cats. And let's see, who else do we have here? Martian Murray, welcome in. Welcome in. And Ben Coombs, welcome. BC Rich 581, good morning to you, sir. Eddie Fay. Quentin James, Pops is here. And we've got Keith H. and Wayne McConnell. So I see that some of the Tony crew has kind of slid in the door here.
Yeah. I was watching him this morning as I was getting ready for this. Great guy.
He's a great guy. Brought us together, right? You and I have been friends in the chat for almost like 3 years now, it seems.
Oh yeah, I think I've been kind of in this community for about 4 years now, or close to it. I think somewhere around there. Ben, I came across, first channel I ever started watching was Phil McKnight. And then he mentioned early on about Ben's channel, Ben having a channel. So I ran over and subbed to him. And I think that's where I started meeting and seeing definitely you and most everybody in here kind of stemmed off from Ben's channel, really, more than anything.
Most of the people I'm in solid contact with, I either met through Ben's chat, right? Or they're already part of Ben's community anyway. And you and I, we kind of followed each other around all the different. Seems like you and I were watching all the same shows.
Yeah.
And so we would always say, and so I think you were the first one, maybe one of the first ones to reach out to me in chat and say, hey, welcome in and blah, blah, blah. And you and I just kind of got to talking and we built a relationship.
Yeah. As soon as we kind of said hi to each other, it was like wheels rolling right after that. Like we were always we kind of, connected pretty quickly after that. And then I don't remember exactly what led to me emailing you my phone number or whatever. I don't remember what led to that, but yeah. And then started texting and kind of been friends ever since. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think we really started getting into contact when I started to do the fabric tops, and you were starting to think about what to do with that with that Squire.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And I had that Squire that I got from my my stepdad. The guy that actually first got me interested in music was Dennis, my little brother's dad, my stepdad. He was my stepdad for 9 years. What first got me interested in music was him. I remember I was about 5 years old and he played guitar, and I remember he mentioned something about, hey man, we as a family, we're going to start a band, and Jeff, you're going to play bass and I'm going to play guitar, and my brother Mike, he's going to play drums, and my mom was going to be the singer. And I thought he was serious. I was like, what? I'm going to play bass? Cool. Everybody at school, I'm going to be in a band. I'm going to start playing bass. And it got me excited. And I remember that feeling of being excited. Of course, that never panned out, never went anywhere. But I remember that feeling of being so excited that I was going to be playing music, that I was going to play bass. And years later, down the road, I ended up actually doing it. But yeah, that was the first time I ever had the inclination that I would enjoy music and playing music. Yeah.
So that's what got the journey started.
Yeah. Dennis, and we were going to start a family band. We were going to be the Partridge Family or whatever, one of those old school TV shows where they were all a band or whatever. I never watched any of them. I could be could be some other show that was, I think it was a Partridge Family or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Or that they were all weren't they a family band or something like that? Or
they were a family band, which was what makes when he says that, it makes this is believable because there are people doing this. It's on TV.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I heard of it. So I thought, yeah, we were going to be the next. We're going to be on TV and everything.
Yeah. So we want to welcome in Hip Metalworks. Want to go ahead and welcome in.
What's up, Hip?
Want to welcome in Riff, who is always a great thing. Great
riff. Always got to have a good riff.
Yep, and we've got Janice Lala in the chat too. So I think we're caught back up. William, there is a question in the chat that we usually don't stop stories, but we do when it's a gear question. So Ben Coombs is asking, which model Marshall head is that behind you?
That's a JVM 410 right there, Ben. That's my first Marshall I ever bought right there. I saved up for a long time to get that Marshall. I'd always wanted a Marshall and never was able to afford one. And then I finally decided to buy one. So I started putting money aside, and I bought that in 2007, right after the JVM came out. I paid $1,800 for it, brand new, off the Guitar Center floor. Actually, Guitar Center had one on the floor, but I told them, look, I don't want that one. I want to, if I'm paying $1,800, I want to open the box myself. Right. So they have to get one.
I don't want someone else's greasy fingers on it.
Yeah, exactly. So, people going in there playing on, they don't give a damn. They're not buying it. You know what I mean? Or, that it already has a bunch of tube life taken off of it. The tube's already been.
It's already been abused. It's like having a rental car, right? Because people going in there knowing they're not going to buy it, they want to see what it's going to do, so they're going to kick the tires.
Yeah, they're going to joyride it. Yeah, exactly. People will joyride, not my Marshall. Not today, friendly.
Welcome in Sean Hockley. Welcome in Octopus Ears. Welcome in Music Therapy Laz. So appreciate you guys coming in. So William, so it all starts with Dennis, your stepdad, right? You get that journey started. So what's the first guitar though? What is
my first guitar? Okay, so it started with Dennis, and then that didn't pan out, obviously. Fast forward to my sophomore year in high school. My best friend Andy, he was in a band and he played drums in band, and and I was in sports. Like I was a sports guy. I played football, baseball, basketball, all that. I was just total sports guy. And then my buddy was in band, and he met a couple of guys, Marvin and Jason, in band. They were also in the drum line with him or whatever. And he started becoming friends with them or whatever. So through that, I started to kind of become friends with those guys too. And they played guitar and bass. And so they needed a drummer. So Andy, my drummer friend, they reeled him in and he was going to play drums for him. Well, those are my best friends. You guys ain't starting a band and getting famous without me. So right then I was like, okay, I got to start learning how to play guitar. I need to join this band too. And so my friend Jason, the bass player, had some beater old, like Sears, like piece of crap guitar, and some, I don't even remember the amp, some beater old, probably Sears, special amp too, that was just sitting there. So I when they were in there jamming out, I would sit there and I would pluck on it, not having any idea what I was doing. And having Marvin, my friend Marvin, show me some chords. He didn't really know much either, but he was taking lessons at the time, so he knew a little bit. So I started having him show me some chords and whatnot. And so after a few months of my mom seeing that I was taking it serious, I talked her into buying me a guitar. So my first guitar was a Vester Strat copy. I don't know if anybody remembers the Vester line back in the day, but it was, basically it was a 3 single coil Strat is what it was, more or less, sunburst style, like 3-tone sunburst. And so that was my first guitar. I went and I really wanted, like, David Gilmour, that's like, he's the reason that I wanted to play a Strat. David Gilmour was my guy back then. And so I went into it was called Lights for Music. It was the local music shop here in town before Guitar Center came to town and whatnot. I went in and asked those guys what pickups David Gilmour used. What pickups does David Gilmour use? And they kind of looked at each other like, I think he uses those EMG pickups or something, doesn't he? And so I was like, okay, order me some. That's what I want. And so I put the EMG SA series single coils in it to start my journey sounding like David Gilmour. And so I went and had those installed, and that was my first guitar. And years later, I sold that guitar once I started getting better guitars. I sold that guitar off, like it's maybe to some pawn shop or something. I don't remember where. Mm-hmm. Well, years later, I had a cello that my mom was a housekeeper, and she cleaned houses for these rich people. And one of them gave her a cello, like a full-on cello. And she brought it home and gave it to me. And I was like, sweet. And I loved it. I wish I still had that cello. It was a fun instrument. But at the time, I didn't have a guitar. And so I decided I was going to take this cello down to Lights for Music and see if I could get him to trade me a guitar. I thought, okay, I didn't know what it was worth. And this is just before internet started becoming a thing, at least before I was aware of how the internet worked and all that. So I didn't know what this cello was worth. I had no idea, no way to look it up. So I just thought, okay, I'm going to go in there and offer him to trade me a Mexican-made Strat for this cello. And I walked in there, I was like, look, I got this cello and I want a Mexican-made Strat. They're like, yeah, okay, yeah, we'll do that. And I thought to myself, man, I should have asked for an American, a Standard or something. And they jumped on that. Yeah. But whatever. So I went in there and I was looking through the Strats, and lo and behold, I look up and there's my Vestor still with the EMGs in it, hanging on the wall. My Vestor sitting right there, which was kind of a cool thing. Wish I'd have held on to it, but yeah, that was kind of interesting. But yeah, I traded that cello for a electric blue made in Mexico Strat that day. And I forget where I was going with that, but yeah, that's my
well, that's the whole thing. It's like, the cello turns into the Mexican Strat, and then you see the Vestor. And when you're looking up at the Vestor, do you say, can you throw that in?
I really wanted it. Like it was, I wanted that Vestor back. I wish I would. If I ran into it now, I wouldn't hesitate. I'd buy that guitar up quick, fast, and in a hurry.
One that got away.
Yeah. It was a really nice guitar. It played really well. Hey, Sean. It played really well. You sounded really good. And that's what I learned. That's what I started taking lessons and learned. That's the guitar that taught me how to play guitar, or at least what I know now. Like faking it, guitar player.
But now you've got a lot of big boy toys now. And
now I do. Yeah.
You do.
Now I got all the goodies.
And so you want to show us your favorite?
Well, that's I don't really have a favorite. I'll show you my most sentimental. This guitar I bought brand new off the Guitar Center wall back in 2001. And I've had Warwick, made in Germany basses, all kinds of killer stuff that has come and gone. But this one guitar is the only guitar that stuck with me this long. It was 20, going on 23 years now. This right here is my Les Paul Gothic. They made these from 2000 through 2002, if I remember correctly. The years here, it's Orville Gibson.
Love it. Love it.
The headstock, all of the Gothics. There's an Explorer, there's a V, and I heard there's even an ES335 that they all did in the Gothic series. They all have
they all have that picture on the back, right?
Yeah, they all have the Orville Gibson kind of goth kind of photo screen thing. I'm not sure what it is, but yeah, this guitar, you can see it's quite beat up. It's naturally relic. This guitar is relic naturally. I played this guitar for 23 years and beat the hell out of it. Had girlfriends, through the years that beat the hell out of it for me too. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it's a tool, and the fact that it looks like that means it's well loved and used.
Exactly. And it's like in that old pair of jeans, that old pair of shoes that just fit right. It just feels right. So if I had to sell everything, that's the only, and keep one, that's the one that would stay because it's my most sentimental.
Is that the one you automatically reach for? Is it like?
No, absolutely not. No. I have, I'm not sure how many because they come and go, but I have about 16, 17 guitars here, and they all get played regularly. I don't have any one that I love them all. I love them all.
This is a problem for me now that I'm getting quite the collection, and I'm starting to get some big boy guitars, and then I've got the ones that I've done.
Yeah, you are. That Gretsch is.
That Gretsch is something else. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. Really, seriously.
Yeah.
But
I know what you're gonna do. You're gonna at the end of the show, you're gonna click end stream, and you're gonna go pick that thing up, start jamming it.
that's right, because I had to put it down to talk to you. And
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, I love that guitar. Like I said, I want someday, sooner than later, I'm gonna have a semi-hollow myself.
Yeah, gotta. I mean, I am a sucker for semi-hollows and hollow bodies. I just am. And I think
they have their thing. They do their thing that no other guitar does. They just have that sound. They have that thing that they do that you can't get out of a Strat or a Tele or a Les Paul or a Gallagher or anything. A Solar, any of that.
Well, where I was kind of going with that was, now that I've got some nicer things to choose from. And so for me, it's a thing of, okay, when I'm going to pick, when I'm going to come into play, what do I want to pick up? And sometimes for me, it's kind of like a mood thing. What am I in the mood for?
Exactly.
Or what I haven't picked up in a while. But how do you make that choice, right? You're looking at your rack, you got some nice stuff on it. How do you make the choice which one of those babies you're picking up?
Like you said, it's really a mood. I mean, a lot of times it's what's my newest guitar? What's the one I'm most recently excited about? Kind of what is the one that kind of draws me a lot of times. But then when the honeymoon's over and it's just another one of my guitars, it's really what haven't I played in a while? What guitar has it been a minute since I played? And I will a lot of times reach for that, or if it's just really a mood thing. Like, what guitar do I want to look at and hold and caress and hug and strum, give a little kiss and molest? Just kidding. I was just kidding.
Oh, it is so funny. I love Martin's comment here. I love you guys. Each time I consider myself insane for owning more than 10 guitars, you make me feel normal.
That's what we do, man. That's what we do around here. We own guitars, all of us.
Oh, and Ben is back in. He's been having a little bit of internet issues today, and I want to welcome in Ryan OU812.
What's up, Ryan? How you doing, man?
And of course, Sean Hockley is reporting in. He has 17 at the moment.
Yeah, that's about where I'm at.
Oh, so all right. So you traded the Tello for the Mexican Martin. Where are we going from there in this journey?
No, what'd you say?
You traded the cello for the Mexican?
For the Strat. I don't know. From there, it just kind of went crazy. I started trading and slinging guitars left and right. I've owned so many guitars that I don't remember them all. Probably, let me think. The next guitar that I bought that's notable is that Les Paul. I would say that really stuck with me. That wasn't just okay. Played it for a little while. I'm ready for something else. Send it on its way and get something else. But probably the next really notable guitar that I'll show you guys is my most expensive. This guitar was made by one luthier. It was made by a guy named Andrew Enns. Andrew Enns was at one time the head luthier at Cordoba, Spanish, classical guitar known for. I'm sure they make, regular acoustics, I imagine, but I'm not for sure. But he was the head luthier there until he went to Yamaha. Now he's the USA custom shop. There's only one guy here in USA, and that's Andrew Enns. He does the Yamaha, I don't know if anybody saw the videos from last year's NAMM, but when they were going over those new Yamaha acoustics, there was the guy from Japan and the guy that was from the US that they were showing the guitars is Andrew. He's the guy that builds all their and helps the Japan, the guys from Japan, the head guys in Japan come up with the new acoustic kind of designs and whatnot. Well, Andrew also has his own side company where he does electrics too, and he does his acoustics as well, which I really would love to have one of his acoustics there. There's killer. But so this guitar right here is one of his first electrics that he did. He did this guitar to show off his ability. He put all of the bells and whistles in it to show off. If you order from me, this is what you can get, and this is my Enns double cut right here.
All right, let's check it out. Oh Oh my. Oh, I am absolutely loving the green on that body.
There's no green on it.
No?
It must be yeah, it's got a wangy top. It's like a super thick, like at its thickest point, this is about an inch thick, wangy top, African mahogany back, the wangy control plate cover there, ebony board with flame maple inlay fret markers. It's got the, you can't really see it there, but it's got the 5-piece. You can kind of see the flame in the neck and the middle there. So it's 5-piece, but 3 wangy and 2 maple stripes going through it. It's got, the flame maple truss rod cover. You can't really see it very well. Cover there. It's got the flame maple inlay, his logo inlay. It's got ebony pickup covers. There are EMGs underneath there, but this is actually ebony pickup covers right here. And from what I understand, I haven't even changed the strings on this since I got it. From what I understand, it's a Hetfield, James Hetfield set under there. So an 81 and a 60, I believe, or an 85 and a 60 or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's should be an EMG set under there. From what I understand.
It is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, that's the only guitar that I have that was made by one luthier. One set of hands touched that thing and made it. And so that's my most like prize one. But if I had, like I said, if I had to sell all my guitars, that one would go before my Les Paul would.
I would be sorry to see that go, but I get it though. When you have
no intentions on that going anywhere
at this point, means the most to you, and so I can certainly see that. So Martin's reporting in. He's sitting at 12 guitars, including the clue builds he's working on, and so we've got a lot of confessions going on here, apparently, William, because Janice says she's got 11 guitars, 5 keyboards and synths, 3 drum machines, and 1 set of acoustic drums.
Oh, nice, man! She's got the whole studio.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, I've seen some of Janice's stuff, man. She's got a bunch of goodies. Yeah.
And of course, Ryan Hall's been dealing with some weather.
Tornadoes.
Tornadoes, and they lost 6 folks in tornadoes last night, and so about a 2-hour drive away from them. So he was getting part of that weather. Yeah.
Sorry to hear that, Ryan. That's scary,
everybody.
We don't get those out here in Oregon. We get earthquakes.
We get them down here.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure that's Tornado Alley down there. You guys, I've never. We do. Period. We get like one a year here in Oregon. I've never seen one, but from what I understand, we get them around here every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then at one point, in our relationship, you and I got together and we did a project together.
We did.
So I'm kind of curious. How would you describe that process of working with me on that?
It just kind of fell into place, I saw that Ben's Kramer, and I was just jaw to the floor, just blown away by how awesome it looked and how awesome it came out. And I was like, dude, I got to have one of those. And so that's when I was like, even so much, I didn't think I would, because I didn't really have the money to pay you to do it. But you were luckily nice enough friend to me where we did, obviously I sent you some glass for your wife. Some of my glass art. And so you were willing to do that because I gave you the best deal I could on that, and you were willing to hook me up. And I didn't feel right about it. I explained this to you about you just doing it for the work that I gave you, because that work took me 2 hours maybe of my time. This took you a lot more than that. So I didn't feel right about trading you straight across for the work. That's why I sent you that guitar neck. I was like, I don't feel right about that. So I sent you that Warmoth neck too. And that Warmoth neck is going to go into a project. I've just finally decided what the project's going to be, and I am searching for the right fabric for it. But I'll give you a lot of credit, because you and I were, when we were talking about that, the agreement we made was a straight across trade of art. Yeah. Right. And it was, and you knew I wanted that neck, and you're like, let me throw this in. And that was so appreciated. And that's what this community is about, right? Man. We take care of each other. So, but here, let me grab that real quick. before you go on and just show off. I don't know how many people have seen it, but that's it right there. The purple people eater, I call it. I love it. Absolutely love it.
The funny thing about this is when you showed me this fabric initially, could you show the back?
Yep.
Because it shows a little bit more.
Here, let me get this out of the way.
And so when you first showed me this fabric, I was like, I don't know what this is going to look like. But when we put it on the guitar and it got under the clear, and at some points when you look at it, it almost looks three-dimensional.
It does. Yeah, it's kind of, it does.
With the waves. And I was like, this guy is a freaking genius. Because I had looked at that fabric before and I was like, yeah, it's going to love the purple. This process loves the purple, and it's going to love that, but I don't know about the pattern. And when I sent it to you, when we finished it all up and we buttoned it up and put it together, I was like, this thing is absolutely gorgeous. And
I spent like 2 hours in the fabric store trying to come up with just the right fabric to do it. I'm bad about making decisions like that, and so I was like back and forth up and down those aisles, like I like this one, I like that one, I like this one, I like that one. And so that's the one I settled on. I love purple. Purple's my favorite color. I got purple on a lot of stuff that I own, so it was a natural fit for me. And I just thought it would work out in this kind of context. But when you told me you weren't so sure when I got it, I was kind of bummed out, but whatever, it is what it is. But no, it worked out great. It does kind of have a 3D kind of effect from a certain angle, from a certain look. It's beautiful. I love it. The only thing is, like I told you before, I need to change that neck. That neck is a pile of doo-doo. Mm-hmm. So I've been looking at necks on eBay and whatnot, and I don't know. Somebody tell me. I know that Seth buys necks on for his builds, but they show them there with all this flame going through them for like $60 and $70. Is that what you really get? Because I've been hesitant to want to buy one because I'm like, I don't know, like if they're going to give up a full-on flame maple neck for $70.
Well, the flame maple one, like the one he's been showing off on for the guitar he did for Ben.
Yeah, the one the other day.
That one's more expensive. That was like $100 and something for that neck. Okay, and I've talked to Seth about these necks before because I was considering using. Have been considering using for my builds as well when I do whole guitars. And he says, they're kind of hit or sometimes they're hit or miss. Like, so you'll order them, you'll get them in, and if it's not right, send it back in the picture. Yeah, he said they're really good about taking them back if they're not what they're supposed to be.
Oh, okay.
And so he said you just have to allow for that time, right? Have that time built in. If you're not satisfied with it, send it back, get another one. He said that they've always taken care of him that way.
I wonder if I can reach out and be like, hey, look, I want one that's got a lot of flame in it. All you can give you, I'll throw a few more bucks at you or whatever. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I definitely need to change the neck on that because it's got some high frets, which it wouldn't hurt. I've got the tools to address that, some level and crowning tools and whatnot. So maybe I can do that, but it's just so beat up. I would just really like to have that guitar is sentimental to me. The story behind that. My buddy fabric topped it. So I want to have it I want to have it right. I want to have it nice. I want to have it something that I do want to reach for and grab and pick up and play and be proud, show to my friends. So I just want to get a nice one of those flame necks that just look beautiful and awesome. And by the way, Keith H., the rain is ridiculous out here. It's been like we have what they call atmospheric rivers that's coming through Oregon a lot, and it's flooding in some parts of my state. Luckily not where I'm at, but it's been raining galore here, and I'm pretty over it, to be honest with you. So I saw him ask that question, so I wanted to address it.
If you have not been over to William's channel yet, I will tell you he does a lot of really great praying. He's a little bit of a metal guy, so if you're a metal guy, you're gonna love him.
No, I got some bluesy stuff on there too.
You do, and that's the thing. There's a breadth of stuff on there, and I always enjoy going over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 links in the chat. And the second link is going to go ahead and lead us into a new direction. Because if you haven't checked out William's channel, go ahead and check it out. But also you're going to want to go ahead and check out his glass blowing materials that are on Etsy. And because not only is this guy a brilliant musician, but he is a phenomenal glass blower. And that was how we kind of got into this project. We were doing this trade of materials there. And so I have got some pictures that are pulled up and ready to go here that I'm going to present, William. And if you can either talk us through them or however you want to go.
Yeah. I'll explain what they are and a little story behind them or whatnot. Okay, this right here is one of my sidecars that I make. It's just to say, if anybody knows what a sidecar is, it's basically I'm a pipe maker. That's what pays my bills. I've been a pipe maker for 30 years, and it's gotten me everything that I own and then some. But a sidecar is basically it's a bowl with the stem on the side of it, kind of like a motorcycle sidecar where it kicks off to the side of it. You can see what's going on there. But that's kind of one of my headier, nicer ones. I sell these on Etsy. They're the one-offs. This right here, that's just one of my production spoons. You know what I mean? It's just a style that I make. That's just the tip of one of them. That's called a switchback, where you take it, heat it up, and switch it back and forth. And so it's just a little switchback windows, what we call those.
These things are just beautiful.
Yeah, those are chillums right there. That right there is one I sent to Ben. Ben, I had sent some glass, but UPS is a bunch of assholes and ended up being a big ordeal. So I made one of those for Ben, plus a bunch of other stuff too. But those are chillums. They're one of my headier chillums that I make. I call them one. Most people call them chillums, but I call them oneies, because they just got a smaller bowl. They're kind of a pocket piece, whatever. So those are, my chillums and my nicer chillums. I make a bunch of different styles of those, but that's kind of the nicer ones.
Okay, so which link is not working, folks?
That right there is a golf ball. You can't see it very well in that picture, but it looks like it's a golf ball on a tee. Those are for all the people that want to sneak a toke there on the golf course or whatever. I do a bunch of novelty stuff too. I do spray can oneies. I do ghosts where they're like literally a ghost pipes. I do a bunch of different stuff, but that's a golf ball on a tee. I sell the crap out of those on Etsy. People love them.
Okay, I'm thinking that they're saying one of the links isn't working, and I think maybe it's this Etsy link. So let me go ahead and try to put it in a different way. So, and I know it's working because I know it works because I've got it pulled up.
There's the head of one of my ghosties right there on the bottom of that picture. You can see the head of one of the ghosties right there. Yeah, there it is. That's one of the little ghosties there. This is just some of the stuff that I do. I do a ton of other stuff that I have just never put up on Etsy. I kind of put on Etsy the stuff that I thought would do the best, that I thought people would like the most. I do a lot of different stuff than what you see there.
And these things are just absolutely beautiful, William. And the thing that I was looking at this earlier this morning, and all these reviews. Look at these reviews, folks.
Yeah, people love it. People love that stuff.
And so, let me see if I can't pull up. Let's see. All right.
Here, let me show. In a minute, I've got one of my pendants that I do. One of my nicer pendants that I do after we're done here. This right here is one of my production spoons. I call them spoons. They're shaped like a spoon. So inside out, what we call inside out, where I literally take the clear tubing and I flare it open and I pull out my stringers and twisty canes and whatnot, and I literally add the glass to the inside and then melt it in, and it melts into the inner wall of the glass where it has a 3D effect and a 3D look rather than put it on the outside. It's more two-dimensional on the outside. So that's what that was, inside out.
Excellent. Sorry, I had to come off there for a minute to put your link for your YouTube channel, and apparently that
looks like they're saying it's the other one, like my channel one, but you could just look me up by name if you're interested.
I just pulled it off your YouTube channel. Apparently it wasn't working from the other link I put on, so we should be good now there.
Oh, sweet. And with my channel, I kind of have a channel. It's nothing I've ever really taken that serious. Only thing I have to record anything is my phone. And so the audio kind of sucks, but down the road, I do want to get a PC and really like put some effort into trying to make better quality. And so when I do that, I'll get some better videos up. But for now, if you wanted to sub, yeah, I appreciate it. I would sub anybody back that subs me. I always do. This right here is, it's a lure. Another one of the novelty pieces that I do. That's a Rapala. If anybody fishes, that's a Rapala. Mm-hmm. I do these tackle boxes where I do 11 different styles of the lures, and I make little glass weights and glass hooks, and I put them in there, and I sell them as a whole project. That's just another one of the inside out pieces.
And I would tell you, I've been really impressed by this work because, you know, whenever you do any kind of craftsmanship and you look at someone else's work, and it's like you can see what really went into it, right? And so this is another one of your lures, I think.
Yeah, another lure. That's a popper there.
Yep. And these things are just absolutely beautiful.
Another one of the sidecars there. Thank you. Appreciate it. Another style of chillum. You can see like you can see the little dancing bear, the little Grateful Dead dancing bear. Mm-hmm. And the one in the middle has a Rick and Morty character. I don't know which one's Rick, which one's Morty, but if you look close, you can see it in there. But they're called Millies, Millifioris. It's Latin, I believe, is for 1,000 flowers, Millefiori. And they're basically rods of glass that have the picture running through them, kind of like Fimo Fimo, that clay. And similar to the way they do Fimo, you do it with glass, and you literally snap it off, and you get the pictures embedded into the glass. So that's what that is.
Yeah, it's really cool, and that brings me up. It brings me to this piece that you sent to me.
The Hendrix, yeah.
The Hendrix.
That was mine for a long time. I threw that in because I just wanted you to have it.
It just really cool, and ever since then I've kind of
lifted up a little bit. Yeah, that's Hendrix right there. It's got Hendrix. Although, if you notice, he's right-handed. Yeah. When I did it, it looked better from the right-handed side than it did from the rear side. Thinking back, I probably should have just went with it and left-handed. But it burnt out some of the dichro. That's called dichro. It's literally the material that they put on space helmets to block out on their visors to block out the sunlight. Well, they put that same material on borosilicate Pyrex glass, and we use it and put it in our glass. That's what that is inside of there. Yeah. And so I probably should have just went with it left-handed, but I thought I was going to keep it anyway, so I didn't care really. But then we did that deal, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna send this to Charles.
And the thing is, I love it. It sits right here the whole time. And I look at it all the time. I was like, yep, that's my buddy William. And I always thought that it would be really cool if you did like, a set of like famous guitars, right? And I bet you they would sell like that. And just put them on a little wood thing that's got.
Yeah, I've got some Jerry Garcias. I got some Bob Marleys out there. Maybe I should try to look into getting more of them. But here, this is one of the pendants that I make. I don't know. You can really see that, but that's one of my pendants.
I absolutely love this one.
Yeah.
And the one we did for my wife was beautiful.
Yeah, the butterfly. I did Charles's wife a butterfly pendant. I do a bunch of different styles of pendants, like anything from jellyfishes. I don't know what the plural word for jellyfish is, but to butterflies, to any kind of like hearts and a bunch of different kinds of pendants that I do.
But I think you're leaving out the one thing all these guitarists in here want to know that you do.
Oh, yeah. The picks is what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I have some sitting around here. I just sent, and Martin's in there. Martin, they're on the way, dude. I finally sent them. It took me 6-8 months or something like that. But I'm very busy in my glass business, and I just like overloaded with work right now. So it's hard to get the time, but I finally did it. They're on their way. You got 10 of them coming at you. But let me grab a couple of the, where are they? Oh, right here.
And so there's a comment from Martin in the chat. He says he would love to see you make one of these, any chance to make a video about it and risk revealing some trade secrets. Well, William and I had a conversation back in stage. And so, but basically he's going to be doing some stop motion work or some stop motion work. Time
some
lapse.
time lapse. Yeah, time lapse.
You're gonna be doing some time lapse, and so he's gonna start getting some videos up on the glass blowing before too long. But it is in the works.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing that here pretty soon. I'm going to put some up on my channel. I just didn't know how interested people would be in glass, so I didn't really put that much of it on my channel. But you know, whatever. I don't care. Whatever. I'll just throw some up there, and maybe it'll gain some traction. Maybe it won't. But I do plan on doing that.
Octopus here.
I don't have any more of the glass sticks. That was the only one I had here.
All right.
And I sent all the ones I had to Martin and Lucas.
And you sent me a couple as well. And
thanks, Octo, man. Awesome, dude. I will make sure I get you hooked up. I'm going to set you up, dude. I'll get you hooked up.
And like you, when you sent me the stuff, you sent me some glass guitar picks as well, and I keep them on the couch. So I've always got on the couch. I've got a bowl of stuff, and I keep those picks right there, and I use them frequently. So,
well, just like me and Octopus here, as we're talking about not too long ago, they don't act like you would think a glass guitar pick would act. You would think they'd be all chirpy and really kind of just brittle and trebly, but they're not. They're really soft. They're not chirpy at all. Yes, I am on Facebook, Quentin, but I believe it's under Jeff De Silva. My last name, first name Jeff. If I remember, I don't hardly ever get on Facebook, but I believe it's under Jeff De Silva. But no, they're not chirpy at all. They're really kind of soft and if you like to tap, they're the best thing in the world for tapping because they're made out of borosilicate, so it's like the hardest glass, short of like crystal, like actual crystal glass. So they just, when you tap the string with them, they ring and they ring good. So they're really good for tapping. And then like, if you like to do arpeggios and that kind of thing, the way they flow over the strings is just like unlike any other pick. They just flow over the strings like effortlessly. So, you know what I mean? They're really like kind of an enjoyable kind of thing, a little different than your run-of-the-mill regular pick, definitely.
Want to go ahead and say hello to All Dave All Night. I saw him in the chat here a minute ago. Janice was asking if you did left-handed pipes.
Well, I do any kind, but to me, I don't look at it like that because say if you're holding a pipe right here, depending on what side of the carb is on, you can either carb it with your thumb or your forefinger, depending on, you know what I mean? So to me, none of them are left or right. But if somebody had a preferred side of the pipe they wanted, like I just had somebody order one the other day that wanted me to make sure it was on the left side for them. So I did. I could put it on any side you wanted. You know what I mean? It's no problem.
And Martin saying you can control the attack extremely well with them. I love the one that I have and look forward to the others. Yeah, it does. It helps a lot with pick attack. I've noticed that in using them myself.
Yeah, and I've gotten better at getting them thin. Like the process to making them, you basically have to. Yeah, I got these color rods, color sticks, and you have to ball up a ball at the end, and you literally have millisecond, like 1 to 1.5 seconds to get it up, and then I have a masher that I mash it with to flatten it. The longer it takes me to get that centered, because I have to hold it up and get it centered to where it's not wobbling off to one side, so it mashes straight. The longer it takes me to do that, get it centered and mash it, I only have so much time to get it. So if it takes me too long and I mash it, it will only smash so far. So that's why I was telling like Octopus here the other day that I've finally gotten better at getting them thinner, because it's literally a matter of seconds I have to get it done. So I've done enough of them now to where like that blue one I just showed you here. Let me break it out again. It's much thinner than the other ones I was doing. Yeah, it's probably 1.5. If I had to say, this one right here is probably about a 1.25 to 1.5 mil size. That's about as thin as I can get it. I can't get it any thinner than that. The glass just cools too fast. It won't allow me to do it.
Well, too thin might be a problem too, right?
Like you look at the Huffschmidt ones. He does ones that are that thick. You know what I mean? Some of them, you know what I mean? Like they're not practical to use, I don't think, but you know what I mean? These are really practical to me. This size right here that I've been doing lately are the more practical ones to use. And by the way, and one more thing I want to say to Martin, when you get those in the mail, the one that's cream colored hit it with a black light because it's UV reactive.
Oh,
so you'll get one. You'll see one that's cream colored. Hit it with a black light. It'll glow like the sun. It's UV reactive. I forgot to put a note in there to tell him that.
Exactly. No, that's a cool feature. So Ryan Hall's asking if you do slides or if you.
I do slides. Yeah, I've made a few of them. In fact, I sent Ben one in that box I sent him a while back. I do custom slides. I do really cool ones. Larry Lalonde, Lur from Primus has one. They did a show here in town, and I met him and gave him one of my slides. So he has. I don't know how often he uses it, but I did give him one. And I don't make them very often, but I do make them. Yeah, absolutely. And I was talking to a few people, a few custom guitar builders. I was thinking about starting doing custom guitar knobs, like make glass ones, like guitar knobs and different things. And even tuning key knobs, things I've been thinking about, possibly doing. If I get the time, like I said, I'm so busy with my pipe business. Mm-hmm. It's hard to find time. Once I've sat out there for 8 or 9 hours in a day, blowing glass for my pipe business, it's hard to go, okay, now let me put in another 2 hours for just some side stuff. You know what I mean? Because I'm burnt, you know what I mean? Like I work 6 to 7 days a week, and it's just, sometimes I just need a break. So when I get a little bit more time, especially right now before Christmas, but when I get a little bit more time, I want to put some focus towards doing some custom stuff like, and then for pedals too, like custom pedal knobs and stuff.
Definitely. Well, you let us know. Do a video about it, because now we all know where to find you, and look forward to it. So what
it's not a combo, Quinn. It's a head. It's a Super Drive 18. It's the head, but yeah, you do. Yeah, that's my Buddha Super Drive 18 right there.
I was just going there. So yeah. So
I can see you eyeballing that question right there. Yeah, and I love it. Like I was telling Charles, that amp right there, it's like, first of all, the preamp section was designed by Dave Friedman. So if you've ever heard of the Friedman naked amps, that's very similar to a naked amp or a nailer, the nailer amps from the 90s. So it's got a nailer naked amp front end on it with a EL84 slightly different power amp section. But it's basically a Vox and a Marshall in one. You get your Vox chiming cleans with the Marshall growl and overdrive and distortion kind of characteristic channel. I love it. It's absolutely just a killer amp. Like it's totally underrated. Not enough people talk about those amps, I don't think. And the people that know about them. I'll say that.
Well, Martin is as excited about it to tuner buttons as I am. He said tuner buttons would be really cool. And
I'll definitely make sure you guys know when I finally get it together and get something made up.
Other than Martin saying, "Hey, Chris, I'm fucking believable. You totally live up to your name."
Yeah. Well, showing up.
So you said you've never kind of really taken your YouTube channel seriously, right? But there's some really good playing on that channel.
It's okay. The thing is, every time I'm jamming and I feel like, okay, I'm jamming something cool, and let me try to get a video of it so I can post it on my channel. The process of me going and grabbing my phone, setting it up and get it in the right spot. By the time I get back to my guitar, it's usually A, the groove's gone, and B, something about when I'm recording myself, I don't play as well when I'm just sitting there not playing or not recording myself. And I always feel like I think I'm trying too hard to play clean and not mess up, and it messes me up. So, but for better or for worse, those videos, if I decide I'm going to put it up, I'm going to record a video and put it up. I put all the mistakes and all the not so great playing, I put it on there too. And whatever, I don't care. It's kind of a progression of me, because I stopped playing guitar so much for quite a while, and over the last couple of years I've started getting back into it. Like I stopped playing guitar for a good 3 years or 4 years, like hardly ever played at all. And then so over the last couple of years I've kind of gotten back in. I forgot everything I used to know. Like I used to know all the music I used to know how to play and whatnot, and all my scales and all that stuff. So I'm just getting to the point to where it's starting. I feel like it's almost back to where I was before I stopped playing. But like I said, when I get a PC and I can actually record and I get an interface and all that, I'll actually put some effort into putting quality music up on there.
Well, looking forward to looking forward to see what you go ahead and do with that channel, because I have the I watch them, I go in there, and it's just like it's inspiring. The way you play to me is inspiring, so it makes me want to get better.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that.
So,
we always feel like we are our own worst critics. And so don't matter how well I do, there's always a level I can do better. You know what I mean? Like, that's my thoughts, even with my glass business too, my glass blowing. I can do cool stuff, and I've gotten to a level, but I can always do better. I can always do better. I can always step it up a level. And that's kind of, I guess that's a good thing, because I'm always striving to step things up, so.
Mm-hmm. And so we've got a couple really good shows that are coming up later today. We've got Ryan and the OU812 crew, and they've got their show coming on later. So I dropped their link into the chat, and also I dropped the link into Ben's Sunday Night Hang with Albus Band tonight. So check those two things out. Sweet. Octopus Ear says he's pretty much gotten rid of the fear of the mic and the cameras, but you still flub up when the lights turn on. That's all of us.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about that. I've heard so many people say the same thing. I just don't know what it is about knowing that I'm being recorded, because I'll be jamming out and something I'm stoked about. And like, yeah, dude, if it just I was recording that and not this, what I end up posting. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah. And Ryan says just keep going live on YouTube and playing. That'll get rid of it, because it does. Sure. The longer I do this, I find that I get really nervous. Being a beginning player myself, I get really nervous about it, right? And what it's going to look like and what's going to sound like. I'm playing, and like doing the video with the Gretsch, right? I was really in my head about what people were going to say about how I played it. Yeah, you got this great guitar, but you can't play it, kind of thing. And there was none of that. There was nothing but support that came out of that.
No, and yeah, you're getting there, man. You're getting there. I've noticed a progression of your playing since your very first video I ever watched of you playing to now. You're definitely getting better.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it. And that's the thing that everyone's saying here in chat. Ben says nobody plays as well when they're being recorded. That's why it takes all these takes in the studio, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And, when you know it's there in the back of your mind. You're being recorded. Even when you try to zone all out from it and you do, if I mess up, I'm just gonna keep going and I'll play it again and I'll take the second part because I won't be in my head about it. But you are, right? It's just part of that. You can't help
it. It's not, to me, it's not a matter of nervousness, because I'm not nervous. I could care less. You know what I mean? It's just, I think it's that I'm trying too hard to not screw up, because I know that I'm going to be posting it. So I want it to be clean. It's definitely not a nervous thing. I don't think. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm not, looking at it in the right, in the way that it is. But to me, it's just more, I'm just trying too hard to not mess it up, not to mess up. Well, if I can just set it up and forget it's there, that's the key.
Well, and you're putting it up, so you want it to be as clean as possible. And you want to show off what you can really do, and that's when you kind of get in your own way. And on Ben's channel tonight, Albus, they are premiering the Albus Band's new music video, so that is going to be worth the watch.
Oh, sweet! Yeah, I'll be there.
And then Martin is saying that he could totally see that Purple Burst 335 he's working on for his daughter with some purplish glass tuner buttons on it. So, you've got to decide if you choose to accept it, William.
Okay. All right. I'll keep that in mind. It's just a matter, I've got to figure out size-wise to keep the hole, because it goes over the top of the screw. It screws it down. I got to get a mandrel, I guess, the right size diameter mandrel. And if I did them on a mandrel, it would just keep it to the right size. So something I got to look into making it work right.
Let's see. What does Terry have to say? Terry says, when you keep recording your stuff, eventually you will notice it. It's not always an instant thing. Just a concrete playing period. Just concentrate on the playing period. Yeah. That's all you can really do.
Yeah.
I love Quentin's solution here, though. I just play as fast as I can and fix it in auto-tune.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why I want to get the PC and the interface so I can just fix it all with auto-tune. Yeah, it doesn't matter. And then it don't matter what I play. Exactly.
Oh, and following us today, William is going to be Music Therapy Laz. And so here's the link to his show that's going to be starting in about 4 minutes for those of you that want to go on over there. He's talking about, his theme today is holiday music. Does it get you down or make you feel jolly? So should be a good conversation over there.
Yeah, groovy.
I love it. Octopus here gives a whole new meaning to there are no wrong notes.
No, there's not. You just bend it a little bit. You hit a wrong note, bend the string a half step. You're there.
and he'll be on with Janice and Laz here in a few minutes. Well, William, we're quickly running out of time here, but is there anything else you wanted to share with the community?
Not that I can think off the top of my head. No, I think we covered just about. Maybe I'll show my latest acquisition real quick. My Aerodyne strap that I got for $600.
Oh yes,
I got the blue one, the California blue one. I love this thing. This thing, made in Japan, Aerodyne strap. It's got the Babix FCH, I believe, full contact bridge. So the all the saddles are on a piston kind of a situation. So adjusting them and intonating it is a kind of a different kind of thing, but I love it. I love how it feels and how it works. But yeah, that's my latest acquisition. This is the guitar I've been playing the most lately. It's my Aerodyne Strat. I love it. It's kind of like your modern Strat.
I love how that works with the chrome knobs on it and that blue. It's just gorgeous. Yeah,
it's your modern. If all the traditionalists are gonna hate it, but I'm not traditionalist. I love it.
But I only have one problem with it, and it's my problem with every guitar that is bound on the top. It needs to
bound on. You like when they're bound on the top? Hey man, you like what you like, man. You like what you like, man. What can we say? You like what we like.
And Internationally Insane Studios love that guitar as well.
Thank you. Yeah, I love it too. Franklin Guitar Works. They also have the Made in Mexico Acoustasonics for $4.99 right now. You can go in there and get them. And any of the Aerodyne Strats, $5.99. They got Franklin Guitar Works out of Franklin, Tennessee, man. They got some killer deals right now. And I bought this brand. It came out of the box. It was brand new. I've heard people say, "Oh, will they refurbish them?" No. This guitar is brand new. I pulled the plastic off the pickups myself. This guitar was brand new. Trust me. I've been playing guitar 30 years. I know brand new from a refurbished or used guitar. This guitar was brand new. So go in there and get you guys a good deal while the deals are there. It's just while supplies last. But an Acoustasonic for $4.99. I mean, if it wasn't Christmas time and I didn't have if I didn't have 6 kids to produce a Christmas for, then I would be all over that.
No, but you could drop like 6 ads in different bedrooms.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it is too funny.
Thanks, Fish. Yeah, I love it.
He said it was a good looking Strat as well. So I
love it. Yeah.
Well, William, I want to thank you for coming on. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and you and I have had our conversations, and I knew this was just going to be a hoot, right?
Yeah, so, it was fun. It was fun. I had a good time. Absolutely.
And there's always one.
And you need a guest, and just hit me up, and I'm down to do it anytime.
I appreciate that. I really do. So I want to thank everybody that's come on in. It is 12 o'clock, and it's time to go over to Music Therapy Laz. William, go ahead and stay on, and we're going to go ahead and do the theme song out, and then you and I can talk a little bit more.
Rock on, everybody.
All right, so let me go ahead and come over here and come over here.